The year is 2001, and he was headed to work. He leaves out the door and he says, "Babe, we know God has put a church in our heart, but today's the day we're going to find out where."
That's right. I knew exactly that day was the day that God was going to speak to both of us. And I remember coming home that night and driving into the driveway, and I just knew that where we were supposed to go.
We decided that
Count 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we would do 1, 2, 3, and then we would both say it together.
That's right.
So tell them what happened, babe. We did.
So 1, 2, 3, and we both said Charlotte.
Charlotte.
So we visited Charlotte, and then you got to fast forward to 2002, March of 2002.
2002. We had our first service. Our kids' ministry was in a hallway. Pastor Troy led worship to a CD. We didn't have everything we have now, but we prayed a lot and called the things we didn't have into being. Being a part of Freedom House has always been an adventure, and I've always been challenged to grow.
2003, I was regularly attending Freedom House Church. We were meeting at University Meadows Elementary School. Pastor Troy and Penny decided for the very first time to start our youth ministry. The big thing was they invited me to be the youth pastor. I didn't know if I wanted to do it at first because I loved college-age students, but I accepted, and God changed my life through working with those young people and developed a love for me towards youth.
In 2004, we started Imagine a Place, when we began to dream about having our very own building. Since my family started coming here to Freedom House Church, we've been healed, we've been restored, and reconnected with the purpose God has for our family and for our lives.
We had just started doing 2 services on a weekend, and it was the year that we launched our kids camp, which saw hundreds of kids impacted. 2005 was also the year that I started attending Freedom House, and the start of seeing the promises of God for my life come to pass.
2006 was the year that we purchased our first property for Central Campus. Ever since I walked onto the parking lot of Freedom House Church, I knew I was at home.
2007. This was a pretty big year for Freedom House. We actually moved to 3 services for the very first time. We also had our 5-year anniversary with my dad and Michael Gungor, as well as we went on our very first trip to Guatemala for missions. And Freedom House has always felt like a big family to me. Even when I was 9 years old running around the hallways, it's always felt the same for me.
2008. Freedom House began to occupy its own property by renovating the home on that property to be our office space. And since coming to Freedom House, I met my wife. I began stepping into more and more of my purpose, and every year since, I've discovered more of who God's designed me to be.
2009, that's the year we took ground on this very piece of property at Central Campus, moving into the office space right across the lake from where we are.
And that was our very first huge Liberty offering. We gave big to She Rescue.
Since coming to Freedom House, we've been freed from addiction, from debt. Our lives have been radically changed.
2010 was the year that Freedom House Church moved from University Meadows to Stony Creek Elementary. It also happened to be the place where I got plugged into the Freedom House Dream Team. I started serving, got plugged into life groups, eventually became an intern, and even met my beautiful wife.
2011 was the groundbreaking of our Central Campus building, and we recorded and released our first live worship album. It was also the year that I came to Freedom House. Since then, I've given my life to Jesus, and I've even had the opportunity of being a part of that same worship team. 2012 was the first ever service we had in our own building here at our now Central Campus. It was also our 10-year anniversary, which we celebrated with Ed Young and John Gray, and it was the first time that I really started to lead and influence others.
2013 was the year that we built 3 wells in 3 churches, and we partnered up with Joyce Myers in India. It was also the year that we started having Saturday service. 2013 was also the year that I started serving at Freedom House.
2014, we broke ground on a major expansion at our Central Campus, adding on-site children's facilities, a major lobby renovation, and increased seating in our main auditorium. It is also the year that the Lord began speaking to my wife and I about a major change in our life, which ultimately led us here to Freedom House Church, where we've seen the impact of our serve go far and beyond our wildest imagination.
2015, we finished our expansion on our Central Campus. We were also gifted our South End campus, which back then it was just a furniture store. And we gave thousands of dollars to Ototo's Children's Home in Africa through our Liberty Give.
2016 was an amazing year at Freedom House Church. we began the renovations and development of our South End campus. Not only that, but we also gave over $30,000 to Samaritan's Feet here in Charlotte. Since coming to Freedom House, I began to fulfill God's calling on my life in youth ministry by serving with our vertical youth.
2017, we launched our South End campus. It's our second campus we've ever opened. We launched it on Easter, we were done renovating it, and it was huge. Services were packed. We loved seeing God move in other campuses. Also in 2017, I got baptized. My big brother baptized me. It was really cool, really fun, just a rededication of my life. We are so excited to see what God has for us. 15-year anniversary is going to be big.
It's so crazy to see how far we've come in the last 15 years.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
And guess what? There's so much more ahead for us, and I can't wait to see what God's going to do through this church in the future.